Arthur.
Hello.
Thanks. Hi, Arthur. Thanks so much for making time in your busy schedule. You are running a company, Indo-American Hybrid Seeds,
That's right.
in India. But apart from that, you are also on the ISF Executive Committee.
Right.
And we're here at the ISF Congress 2023 in Cape Town. Why is it so important that the ISF Congress comes to Africa?
I think it's a market that's growing and with a lot of potential. As we know, Africa as a continent has the highest arable land in the world. And it's very important that people meet on this continent and also discuss and deliberate issues relating to this continent and the countries here. Yeah. So I feel that's the reason why it should be here, and people will participate and get a deeper knowledge of this continent and the future that lays ahead.
Everybody seems to be very happy that the Congress is, after 20 years, back in Africa. What do you hope, or what do you think the impact will be for the African seed sector?
Yeah, this is a coincidence for me, because 20 years ago, my father was here attending, and I think my mom was the accompanying person. And they had a good meeting, if I remember well, because it was fascinating for them to come here. It was their first visit. And this time around, especially post-pandemic, I think it's very important that it's happening in this continent, and that people are coming with a lot of, after a lot of change and resilience, they're coming back for a major conference here following Barcelona. So I think it's a wonderful location and a great place to have this. And so far, I've had good feedback from people attending that it's a very well organized Congress, and my, congratulations to the team, the NOC that organized it.
Yeah. I know that ISF plans its congresses, several years in advance.
Right.
Any plans for Asia anytime soon?
I hope so. With regard to Asia, we are looking at probably a few years down the line, and we would like to have it in Asia.
Yep.
Because that's another very important market now, and things are emerging there, and a lot of economic growth is happening, and also a lot of agroclimatic zones which are both for seed production and for crop production very important, and the dynamics are also changing, so it's very important, I feel. But let's see how it goes. Yeah,
fantastic.
That's right.
I look forward to an Asian World Seed
Congress. It would be wonderful
in the future.
Yeah.
We're here at the last day, the third day of the Congress. In the next few days, people will be flying back home. When they're back home, what do you hope that they remember of the Congress?
Of course, first of all, Cape Town is a beautiful place. That memory is there. But specifically with regard to the Congress, I would say they would take back memories of good deliberations, of good panel discussions, and overall good feeling, because it's a well-organized conference, and there's a lot of content here for different businesses, for small companies, for students, for emerging entrepreneurs. So there's a lot of take-home. And I think content-wise, there's a lot here that can contribute for all the delegates who've attended. So I feel that's important.
With you being in India, I'm sure you keep a keen eye on the seed sector in Asia. What's going on with the seed sector in Asia? What are the challenges and perhaps how to overcome those?
Yeah, there are challenges, several challenges, which are always part of the seed industry, and we have to address them as they come. But in general, one of the major challenges we are facing right now is the climate change. In the last few years, we've seen excess rains and in many places, no rains, and also untimely rains. And another challenge we are facing is the diseases that are coming in, a lot of new diseases that were minor diseases. Pest, for example, in India, a major devastation by the Western thrips has happened. So we are seeing that sort of dynamic. And once again, I believe with the knowledge in the seed industry, our scientists and R&D staff will come up with better solutions for these challenges. But I would say right now, climate change is really happening, because it's been the last few years where we've seen the unusual rainfall patterns, and especially during harvest time, which is really detrimental to the farmer. So going forward, that would be the priority for us to address and to bring out better quality crops to overcome these challenges and to give the farmer a better, quality produce and better livelihood.
Absolutely. I've heard it already several times these days. Climate change is the biggest challenge of all.
Yeah, it's consistent. In the beginning, we thought it was maybe just a year or two, and now it's been a few years on the trot where we are not able to really plan and predict things like we used to maybe a few years ago. So that's a major concern. And not a smaller one, but another concern would be the youth not engaging much in the seed industry and in agriculture in general, because I guess today they have a lot of options and maybe they don't see any sort of glamour, so to speak, figuratively speaking, about the industry. And I think that's an area where we need to engage more youth, which is being done in this Congress, and it will continue to be done. And in the industry, that's very much needed, because we need a lot of youngsters to come into the business and to take pride and commitment and work in the industry. And I request young people who might be watching this to really give it a serious thought and find themselves a place in the seed industry.
Fantastic. Great message for all the young people watching.
Yeah, it's really required, because it's about feeding the world. And we need more hands to come together and make this commitment and take things forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Speaking of challenges, a recent challenge was, of course, the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah.
And I know that especially the Asian continent was hit pretty hard. And I believe OECD wrote a very good report on that. How are things at the moment? Almost back to normal, completely back to normal?
Yes, things are back to normal, so to speak, and everything is settling down.
Okay.
But still, as I mentioned, the climate change is still a concern going forward. But otherwise, I think all economies have now started to settle down, and the agriculture is starting to pick up. But of course, the pandemic did a major setback with so many lives we lost across the world, and Asia included. So it is now it's much better. I think things are coming back to normal, and production is on, the season is on, and even this year we are hoping to have a good season in Asia, in many parts, which is starting now with the monsoon. So we are hoping for a good sowing season. Yeah.
Very happy to hear that.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.